DC Comics has had its fair share of forgettable heroes and villains. There are some you might know about if you read comics, and then there's some you'll never hear about if you just watch the movies. James Gunn has brought so many characters into the light already through Suicide Squad, Superman, Peacemaker, and Creature Commandos. Hell, he even did it with Marvel and Guardians of the Galaxy. The reason why all of that is relevant is because he did it again with another character that I honestly didn't ever expect to see on a big screen. In Creature Commandos, for a split second, you see this round little creature in the background, and ladies and gentlemen, that is Egg Foo. I smartly assume that 80% of people have no idea who this is, and I only know because I'm weird and I like to know obscure things, but this guy goes way back. Egg Foo, whose real name is Chang Su, is a massive egg-shaped supervillain from the DC Comics. This thing first appeared way back in Wonder Woman 157 in 1965. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. This character feels a little racist. And yeah, you're right. DC has a bit of explaining to do, which I'm sure by now they've done plenty of, because now in present times the character has been reimagined to be sort of a more respectful and villainous genius with various roles, including being an enemy of Wonder Woman, a member of the Metal Men, and occasionally a foe to Harley Quinn. This dude is beefing with heroes and villains. I love a menace that just hates everybody. Like I said earlier though, this sentient egg is an adversary to Wonder Woman. In fact, Egg Foo was the first villain in the Wonder Woman series to receive an entire multi-issue story arc, which is so weird to do for a racist caricature. But hell, I guess the hate ran deep at DC. Egg Foo first appeared in the Silver Age of comics and was originally an agent of the Chinese Communist Party, which in 1965 was a no-no. And he hated America, and so in retaliation with America, this thing took Steve. I don't even remember Steve's last name, but it's Wonder Woman's man. She takes him and launches him along with several missiles at a US fleet, and Wonder Woman has to come in and save the day. She saved the fleet, but unfortunately a missile hit Steve and Wonder Woman, killing both of them in a blast. Yeah, Egg Foo fucking killed Wonder Woman in his first comic appearance. I mean, later, they're brought back through Themyscirian magic, but this guy fucking did it. He pulled it off. It's just crazy. A yellow house-sized man who is just egg-shaped for no reason, with no explanation, managed to kill one of the top 3 in the Justice League with a missile. Later on, they fight him and he uses his mustache as a whip, which of course he does. He gets defeated, of course, but that's it. He's out of the story for like a long time, and unfortunately that's his biggest accolade as a villain. The second time we see him is in 1997. After the Crisis on Infinite Earths, he appears in a Wonder Woman comic where he's reimagined as a rediscovered supercomputer that's put on display in a carnival on Gateway City's Oceanside Boardwalk, where people can come up and ask him anything. The writers of this comic kept him similar but stopped with the overt racial themes. He's still Chinese though, and a bunch of people on the boardwalk are protesting that the Egg Foo attraction is racially insensitive, so it's good to see some social awareness from the writers now. Egg Foo in this story is later found out to actually be a product of apocalyptic technology. Scott Free, who's Miracle Man, created it accidentally and left it behind while visiting Earth. When it's activated, it begins dominating people's minds and preparing them for transport to Apocalypse. Later, this version of Egg Foo is defeated by Diane's successor, so he's 2 for 2 in losing fades now. More recently, he's been giving a new, less racist look, but it's still as horrifying as the last one. This new story follows the events of Infinite Crisis, and this version of Chang Su is an agent of Apocalypse. He's full-blown with the shits now. He still has a large egg-shaped body, but it's smaller than before. He has little facial features now besides his cracked skin, terrifying red eyes, and a sharp set of teeth. His body is now mounted in a spider leg chair for better mobility. He's equipped with small prosthetic hands and hidden weapons. In this story, his backstory is a brilliant mad scientist who creates doomsday devices and recruits genius level scientists to join his science squad on Oolong Island. His goal was to develop metahumans and super weapons, which he sells to the highest bidder or uses to further his own plans. In this storyline, he even kidnaps Black Adam, which honestly is a feat. I'm kinda surprised with old Shang Tzu here. He's a decent villain, all things considered. He's later destroyed by being caught in a blast by a wave gun, so that's crazy. This guy has been destroyed on so many occasions, and it's here they introduce a new concept for Shang Tzu here. Through the advanced technology he possesses, he can transfer himself into new bodies. If his egg-shaped form is destroyed, he can just clone another, so that's his new secret. Now, this present version of him is the most different looking version yet. In 2014, he was reimagined during the whole New 52 run of comics, and he goes by the name Edgar Fullerton Jung, which is just insane. He's still an egg-headed scientist, but he's more white than yellow now, with a less terrifying design than before. He moves around on a floating dish with robotic hands. They have the ability to hook into any robot bodies that he creates, which lends itself to, a myriad of different powers, whichever he chooses. This version is secretly experimenting on Poison Ivy in Arkham Asylum, and he forces her to try to develop a potion that would get his landlord to like him so he can keep his apartment, which is real, you know what I mean? Who wants to fucking work? Harley Quinn breaks into Arkham to save Ivy and takes pity on little Edgar. She allows him to stay in her apartment, and that's where he's at in the current comics. He's vibing with Harley, getting up to all kinds of shenanigans. He went from a Chinese communist that killed Wonder Woman to some egg bum that's crashing on Harley Quinn's couch. I think the fall from grace is hilarious. Also, like I said earlier, James Gunn put him in the background of his newest show, and he seems to be the yellow and cracked version of his character, and personally, that's the best and most evil version yet, so hopefully there's a chance he'll get a big role at some point. And since this is James Gunn we're talking about, I'd say the odds are pretty high. So yeah, that's the story of Egg Fu, the weirdest, racist DC villain I have ever seen. I was just so fascinated about this little stain on DC's legacy that I had to make a video just to get some thoughts out about it. I plan on doing more videos like this because there's a lot of other characters out there that just gotta be talked about. I hope you enjoyed this video though and learned something new about comics, so stay tuned in for more and I'll see you in the next one.